Hi, and welcome back here on the Senior Network. We're now joined by Nancy Rosen, Director of Human Resources, right at home.
Good morning.
Always good to see you.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Well, good and bad news. I know we're getting into the summertime now. We're coming out to the other end of this COVID-19, and I know you are right at home, especially being over HR, have had your hands full with training and all the things that you've had to prepare for with equipment. Just tell us a little bit what you've done over the last few months and maybe a game plan moving forward.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, you're exactly right. Being in home care, our line of business never stopped. Correct. So we had to kind of jump on top of all the best practices right away. Right. So kind of what that involved was we touched base with the Right at Home corporate office to find out how they felt we should move forward. We used some of their information. Okay. And fortunately, we have a partnership with a company called Relias, which is some proprietary software that Right at Home provides us that has thousands of in-services and supplemental information on everything. Well, in a wonderful fashion, they got right ahead and loaded that program up with COVID-19 information. Great. So literally from, I'd say, the same week that the governor had declared a stay at home, then we were able to just pull that information down, do some in-services with our caregivers. We did those via Facebook. Because that's a lot of our caregivers are of the age group where they're very technologically savvy. Sure. So we were able to do some of those by Facebook. We sent out some materials for them to read, and then we actually did have people come into the office. Right. Even though we did some safe social distancing and masks and all of that, but we had a number of different opportunities for them to come in and speak with us if they didn't have the opportunity to get all this information off the web or what have you. Sure.
As far as the PPE equipment, I know that you have a lot of that in inventory right now, correct?
Yes, we do. Another great thing was our director of operations was able to jump right on top of that and order us exactly what we needed. We have N95 masks, we have gowns, and we have gloves. So we've always supplied our caregivers with gloves. Masks are a newer thing to us, so we're all getting used to that. We've got actually a number of different types of face masks, so they can actually choose, which ones they want to use.
Which they're comfortable with.
Yeah, which they're comfortable with. And that might depend on how long their shift is. If it's a 12-hour shift, they may opt to use a different face mask, or they may switch off. So we have supplied them with whatever it is they feel comfortable with and need to use. But we are requiring that they wear face masks at this time.
Right. And I know you've always trained with infectious, control and things like that, but I'm assuming this new training is it goes to a different level, I'm assuming, with the COVID.
Yeah, it certainly does. I mean, I think the thing is that we've been very lucky in as much as a lot of the caregivers that we hire are seasoned, lifelong career caregivers.
CNA type?
Yeah, CNAs, but also people who have been not only just CNAs, but have been in this industry and with our business model for many years. Right. So they weren't frightened away by the potential of this COVID, this unknown, or at least it was at the very beginning, and they stayed with us. And they mobilized very quickly to say, I still am interested in working, I don't want to leave my client. So we were very happy with that.
Right. Now, as far as you mentioned client, from the client side, I noticed, obviously business for everyone went down a little bit, with facilities and things like that, but I noticed this is coming back very fast. People are getting more confidence and they're having to go back to work and they need help with their parents and so forth, correct? Yeah. Are you seeing a higher demand right now with more inquiries?
Yeah, definitely the inquiries for services have picked up. However, we did dip a little bit in as much as the people who liked having a caregiver and maybe needed a caregiver, but it wasn't dire for them. Right, it wasn't a necessity. They really just enjoyed companionship and some help around the house. They did put us on pause very briefly. But to be truthful, we care for a lot of folks that have a higher acuity. So those folks absolutely needed us. That business did not stop.
There was no going away there, right?
No. And then, of course, we did what we had to do to make those clients feel safe. So we were taking temperatures. We were supplying the house with PPE. So our nurses would go out and not just give the PPE to the caregivers, but make sure that each of those homes was stocked as well.
Great.
You know, because we weren't sure at what rate they were going to go through it. So we reached out to every customer by phone to see how they felt about continuing services. And I think that communication was the important thing.
Nancy, always great to talk to you. Thanks a great amount of information. I appreciate that. Please take a moment, if you will, email us any comments, questions you may have. And I want to thank you for joining us here on the Senior Network, where senior care experts come together. We'll see you the next time.